Hello, my darling. I'm getting ready to do my Manifesting Monday, and I'm excited about the conversation today. Hope it's not sounding too redundant, but I don't think these points can be brought home too much. So today I want to talk a little bit about who you are and who you are not, and how you can start to enjoy your life experience more, how you can start to enjoy your expression of the divine that you are. So first of all, who you are not. Okay, you are not your past. You are not a collection of your memories. You're not your accomplishments or your possessions. You're not your appearance. You're not your body. You're not your thoughts. And you are not what other people think you are. You are not what you've done in the past. You're not your career or your job. You're not your fears or your mistakes. The truth and essence of who you are is love. So therefore, being your true self is being love. We are all, if we boil us down, actually pure love. We're not only connected to everyone else and to God, but the very deepest level of who you are and who I am, we are God. So it was such a relief for me to finally understand, and I want you to understand this. If you identify with yourself as love, you no longer have that sense of having to go out and search or prove or do or accomplish. When we really know who we are and why we're here, we can relax and we can allow life to unfold. When we are in this place of acceptance that we are love and that life should be joyful and loving, we can relax. And then we can just allow life to carry us and bring things to us that are ours, and we can just start to enjoy the journey more. This to me has been such a relief. It's about finding our center. It's about relaxing into our heart space, not living from the mind, but living from the soul. So I want to share with you a little bit about a book I read recently that I found to be so inspiring and uplifting and revelatory. And she actually speaks of a lot of the same things that I do, and just reiterates a lot of the messages that I like to share with you. And it's a book called Dying to Be Me. I don't know if you've heard of this, by Anita Moorjani. Really good book. So she actually had a near-death experience. And while she was in this state of being kind of on the other side of the veil, she had a lot of awarenesses about why she had stage 4 cancer. She ended up realizing why she got cancer, how she could heal, and really the purpose of life. And she had a choice whether she wanted to come back or not, as I feel a lot of people do when they have near-death experiences. I became intrigued by this topic years ago when I got very sick myself. And I didn't have a near-death experience, I don't think, but I had an out-of-body experience. I had a very high fever for several days and started asking a lot of questions and getting a lot of answers. And it expanded my awareness, and it really put me on this path of I guess awakening. And it happened in layers for me. I think somebody, if they have an actual near-death experience, it can be like blowing everything out of the water. For me, it was more like layers. The subtitle of her book is My Journey from Cancer to Near-Death to True Healing. She says, I had the choice to come back or not. I chose to return when I realized that heaven is a state and not a place. So, we can have heaven on earth. And I feel like at this point in my life, I am living heaven on earth. But it's a state of being. It's about being relaxed into our center and being aligned with our soul self and source. And from that place, we can relax and enjoy the journey. Allow rather than resist. Life can unfold with grace and ease rather than us feeling like we need to make things happen, do or prove anything to anyone, which is an incredible relief and can also make life a lot more joyful and magical. The bottom line is true joy and happiness can only be found when we love ourselves, can only be found by going inward to the kingdom of heaven within and to follow our own hearts, to listen deeply to our own intuition, and do what brings us joy. So I think where a lot of us get in trouble is when we give our power away, when we give our power to external sources, or when we give our power away to the negative thoughts in our own mind. So we need to set that intention to know ourselves more deeply as love. And something Anita says, and I love this so much, the most important thing we can do is to become aware of and treasure our own magnificence, to live as beings of light and love. When we have this awareness, there are inherent healing properties that come from it. There's healing that starts to occur by setting this intention and living from this mindset. So if the truest truth is, which I believe it is, I know it is, we are all one. We are facets of the whole, which is unconditional love. So the only real purpose of life is to be ourselves, which is to be love, to be the love that we are, to treasure our magnificence, and to share our love and magnificence with others in the world. Hey, Jaylene, big love to you too. So really, as we relax into our loving and know ourselves as love, we don't even have to try to be nice. We don't even have to try to be kind. We don't even have to try to be loving. It's just a natural way of being as we pull our energy back and start to live more from center, as we start living from the inside out. And there are some quotes here from Anita that I love. Again, she talks about finding center and living from center, which of course I love because my radio show is called Journey to Center on Empower Radio. So she says what she means by being centered is the experience of being at the very center of her life, the very center of her own cosmic web, being aware of her position in things. So in this way, we're not on the outside of the fishbowl looking in. We're at the very center of the fishbowl. And being in our center is really the only place that any of us ever are. Sometimes we just don't feel like it. So what we want to do is pull our energy back and feel our centrality at the core of our experience and in life. And there's a joy that comes from this. There's an empowered feeling state that we live from as we experience being in our center. So every morning, I like to take time to claim this for myself. You can get in touch with the whole universe by turning inward. So when Anita will say, we all have the capacity to heal ourselves as well as facilitate the healing of others when we get in touch with our center, the infinite place within us where we have the awareness and understanding that we are love. Each and every single one of us is unique and indispensable. You are a facet, an important, incredible, beautiful facet of the infinite universe. Each one of us is an integral part of the greater unfolding of the tapestry of life. And really, when we boil it down, our only obligation is to be true to ourselves and to allow. And when we do this, everything that is yours by divine right will find its way to you in perfect timing. Life can start to flow effortlessly in magical and unexpected ways. And for me, this took a little practice. It took reading some books and having these painful experiences that really ushered me more from my head to my heart, from my thinking to my feeling state. And now I really know. I know for a fact that when we relax and know ourselves as majesty, royal heirs to the universe, and expressions of love, life really can show up in a more loving way. If our lives are a reflection of our inner state, it makes sense, right? If we're living from that sense of fear and, hey, Tonda, disconnection, of course our life can't reflect back to us the beauty and majesty of who we are. The only way that can happen is to claim our beauty and majesty, to claim our importance and value, our significance. And if you don't feel that, it starts with opening our mind to that possibility and truth. And so let's see, what are some other things that I wanted to share with you here that I found to be quite exquisite? So as we claim our capacity to heal, as we pull our energy back and live more from the center, whether it's through meditating or intentions, we start to become a healing vortex. We start to feel better, our lives work better, and we become a more peaceful and healing presence in the world. So just allow yourself every morning, maybe throughout the day and at night, to relax and settle into your heart. There's a place that's deep inside of you that is filled with a sense of peace and comfort and ease. I was talking to a client the other day, and he goes, I asked him what he wanted, and he said, I just want to feel at ease. I just want to be comfortable in my own skin. I've never felt that in my life. And I said, you can't wait for life to show up in a certain way to start to claim that for yourself. The only way we can really do that is to pull our energy back and start to explore and experiment with what it would feel like to be at ease. What would it feel like to be comfortable in your skin? What does it feel like to settle into that place of love, peaceful, sweet, unconditional love within? It's not out there. It's in here. And as we explore, experiment, play, practice, that our lives will start to show up as a more beautiful, gentle experience. So what Anita will say is that you don't have to have a near-death experience to have that feeling state of nirvana, which is what a lot of people will say that they do experience when they have a near-death experience. It's nirvana, but we don't have to have a near-death experience to have that feeling sense of nirvana and bliss. We can have that for and within ourselves here and now. And as we practice going to that state of nirvana within, again, our lives will start to show up in a more beautiful, peaceful, wonderful way, magical, miraculous, supportive way in our outer lives. Another thing that I found that was really wonderful in regards to reading this book is you know, I've had a lot of people, as I'm sure you have, that have transitioned, that have died, and that are no longer with us on the planet, and can create such a devastating feeling of grief. And I know some people now that are struggling with some very scary diagnoses. And this book can, it did for me, bring me great solace. And I've read a lot of books. There's Eben Alexander, Proof of Heaven. There's Betty Eady, Embraced by the Light. A lot of really beautiful books that have revealed what happens when we drop our physical forms, as we surrender our bodies and move more into spirit. So if you are wanting a more expanded sense of who you are, and if you want some comfort in regards to loved ones that have transitioned, I would really suggest getting this book, Dying to Be Me. And again, the most important thing we can do is to allow and express and be who we are designed to be. And again, if we peel all the layers away, who we are, who you are, is love. We're all part of the whole. We are all one. And as expressions of the divine, as splinters of the divine, we are love. We come into loving and we go back to loving. I feel like, and I've said this before, I feel like we bubble up from this cosmic soup of love, and we put on our little either skin suits or feather suits or fur suits, and then we bubble back down, and we bubble back up, and we bubble back down. And each one of us has our own individualized physical expressions, contracts, curriculums, things that we've said that we want to learn. We have our karma. Somebody said to me, Tammy, you say all the time we live on a planet of duality, free will, and choice. But to me, it feels like there isn't a lot of choice. You know, it's like life happens. I wouldn't have chosen for that to happen. What we can choose is how we want to deal with the situations that show up. Because I think sometimes what happens in our lives is a consequence of past choices. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. What we do will be done to us. Treat others the way you would treat yourself, because the truest truth is we are all one. So we don't get away with anything if we are lying, stealing, or cheating. It's going to come back to us, but perhaps maybe not in this lifetime, not in the next day or month or 2 minutes or year, but possibly in a next lifetime. So I think sometimes our lives are a perpetuation of past lives, past choices, and it is being on the other side of whatever it is we've put out. And I've had people say, and I've said this, man, I must have been a really piece of work or a bad person in the past life to experience all of this. Don't do that to yourself. Don't have a pity party. Just go, oh, I must be learning from this. I must have an opportunity to be learning. We're not victims. We are here to explore and experience, learn and expand as spiritual beings, loving beings, having this perceived reality of separation. Hey, Maggie Sellers, how are you? I'm so happy to be seeing you. I bet you it's cold back there. I'm happy to see you here. Yeah, it's cold here in Idaho. It's snowing today. But I like it. It's all snug in my office with the fireplace on. And so I'm very, very, very grateful for my warm, sweet, safe place in my home, and the ability to connect to that warm, sweet, safe place inside of myself. And again, as I do this more and more, my life reflects warmth and safety, sweetness, and gentleness. So I really hope, if you take anything away from this or any conversation I have with you, is that you are beauty. You are love. You're a royal heir to the universe. You are majesty. You are magnificence. You are magic. You are a miracle. I wrote something on my Facebook page the other day. There's something like, I thought it was 100 billion trillion stars in the observable universe. That's the observable, and it could be expanding infinitely because we're always expanding. 70 yesterday? I'm a little jelly. That's wonderful. That's good horseback riding weather. So there's trillions upon trillions of stars and planets. And I feel so blessed to be on this particular planet on the edge of the Milky Way, where it is such a powerful opportunity to grow in our own awareness in this state of separation, and to be on this planet with you at the same time, to be able to celebrating, hey Teresa Folk, hi, to be celebrating our expression of the divine that we are. So my greatest prayer, hope, and intention for you is that you are opening your mind more and more and more to the awareness and the feeling state of your own magnificence. Tammy with an I instead of a Y. Oh, that's so cute. I appreciate that. To not beat ourselves up or judge ourselves when we get it wrong. We're here to learn to love ourselves more unconditionally and to reside in that state of peace within. And as we do, again, we become a healing vortex in the world. Maureen Potts Hayton, you are definitely buying this book. I can't recommend it enough. There were so many beautiful moments and quotes and opportunities for me to explore my beliefs and go deeper. There was so much resonance because, again, she talks a lot about living from the inside out and finding our center and knowing our magnificence. So it's a lot of the same things I teach and believe and have learned and want to live in my own life. And it's interesting to get that confirmation from other people that have actually had those near-death experiences, who have dropped the body and have that moment of time with the divine. And she, like a lot of other people that have had near-death experiences, talk about being met with a lot of love, a lot of peace, unconditional love. And they don't necessarily want to come back, but they know they have a message for us here. They're met by people that have transitioned, that they know that have been in their lives. They've been met with beings of light that they didn't necessarily know, that they become aware that they are their guides or guardians or angels. So there is so much love for us on the other side of the veil, but there's also so much love for us, Jim Bellin, for us here and now. And as we open our minds and hearts to believe this, we can experience and receive it. You are the child in whom God is well pleased. You are an expression of the divine, and we all are, but we're here to take care of our side of the road and to claim our own empowered sense of self and the knowingness, the awareness, the realization that we are unconditional love. And again, as we do, our lives work so much better. There's so much more peace and grace and ease and synchronicity and support. And as I mentioned, as I have started to live more from this state, I don't feel like I'm doing anything, but lots is happening around me. I feel like I'm just on this beautiful boat flowing down the river, and things show up with grace and with ease. And I'm participating, but I'm not making things happen. I'm no longer rowing the boat or pushing to make things happen. I'm no longer forcing or pressing. I'm just simply enjoying the journey. And I think that's the way that it's supposed to be. And again, once we identify ourselves as love, that's how life can be, and I think is supposed to be. But we have to get to a certain level in our awareness. We have to know that we're love. And we can do that again by virtue of reading books or meditating, getting in touch with our own center, claiming it as a personal intention. And there's a lot of tools available out there to go deeper into this awareness. So if I could suggest one thing, it's to really set the intention to know yourself as majesty, as an heir to the universe, as profound and unconditional love at the very core of yourself. And then pick up this book, Dying to Be Me. And I would love to hear your personal thoughts or experience of it. Pull out quotes that have really resonated within your own heart. And let's just continue the conversation. Teresa, when I listen to you, I close my eyes and I feel a sense of peace. I'm so honored by that statement. You know, years ago, I read something about, and I've mentioned this before, when Mother Teresa, it's a great name, or the Dalai Lama would walk into the room, things would just become more peaceful. Not because of anything they say or do, but simply because of who they are. And I thought to myself, that's what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be a vortex of peace. And I think we all have that capacity. It's just a matter of finding that peaceful place within ourselves, inside of ourselves, and spending more time there. And again, I did that a lot through meditation. But I think once we really build that muscle, we can bring that energy with us more consistently in our lives as we are participating with others and participating with life to become that more peaceful presence. It's a very high vibration, and it really is a way of attracting a lot of miracles and support and magic in our lives. It's again, Mahatma Gandhi says, be the change you want to see. And what I want to see is a peaceful, magical, loving world. So my intention is to live more in that state of peace and magic, majesty and love within. And then my life becomes a reflection of that. And then I do get feedback from others that is also their experience of me, and it becomes more of their personal intention because they see me as a living example of it. That was another thing that I said to God, I want to heal the world. And he said, just relax. There's no out there. Be the living example of what you want to see. And because of that, I don't get so caught up in politics. I don't get so caught up in the news. I don't get so caught up in the pain and the hurt and the drama and trauma of this world. It's all part and parcel of being separate. It's the what we perceive as separation. It's part of that. And we can either fight with that or argue about it, or we can pull our energy back and be the change we want to see. So what do you want? And how can you be more of that? And again, open your mind to the fact and the truth that you are exquisite, remarkable, important, valuable. You are God. The truth and essence of who you are is unconditional, unfathomable love. So settle into that place instead of insisting others reflect that to you, or being sad that life isn't reflecting that to you. Pull your energy back. Don't worry about that. Take care of this. Take care of your relationship to that. Ground yourself. And then I'll bet you anything, I'm very confident you're going to start to feel better, and also perceive some God winks in your life. And I love hearing about revelations, and I love hearing about God winks. And thank you, Teresa. I am so honored that if this supports you in any way, that is my deepest blessing. And my most sincere intention. I feel like I do my Facebook Lives and my radio show is my gift to God. And if anybody else is hanging out with me and getting any value from that, that's just icing on the cake. That makes it even more fun. So I'm truly honored by that. And let's just continue the conversation. If there's anything I can do to support and uplift you, I have a lot of guided meditations that I've made to help others, to help you turn inward and access that feeling state of peace and love, the kingdom of heaven within. So if you would like a guided meditation, I would be honored to send you one. And again, if you have any personal revelations or God winks in your life, I think what we focus on and talk about comes more fully into our experience and continues to expand. So I love talking about epiphanies, revelations, God winks, the good things. I love to talk about the good things, the deep things, the real things that matter. So if you want to have those conversations with me, just know that I'm inviting that, and I would be honored to participate in that. So you can private message me. Of course, you can write me here on the thread, or you can email me at tammyphd@gmail.com. I don't think there's anything more important than celebrating the fact that we are love and to be spiritual rock climbers together, just ascending this mountain of unconditional love. So I acknowledge you as a beautiful being of light and the essence of love and peace in the world. I hope you know that. I hope you feel that. I hope you're celebrating that and experiencing it more for yourself. And I have talked for a long time here now. So I'm going to say goodbye to you, or I like to say bye for now, because I don't ever like the goodbye, because I don't think anything's ever complete and done. So bye for now, and just know that I'm holding you in my heart, and I'm uttering prayers of healing and blessing, healing, wholeness, ascension with grace and ease, magic and miracles on your particular journey as we move forward, onward, and upward in our loving together. So God bless you. Take very good, sweet, gentle, peaceful care of yourself, and let's continue the conversation. Okay. I love you. God bless you. And let's talk soon. Bye for now.